Good afternoon, traders, friends, family, Forex traders. It is time for the market recap. I know you were expecting Dan. I was looking for Dan as well. Dan is a little bit busy today, so he asked me if I would cover for him. And of course, I have no problem with that. It's good to see everyone. Hopefully, you had a good trading day. Yes, we have the Dow, the S&P, and the Russell all posting new all-time highs in futures here this afternoon. Apparently, we are good to go with whatever they're going to be saying on Wednesday with the FOMC. Just kind of glazing over, we had kind of a rangy area in the crude oil, and we got within 13 ticks of the bottom end of it before turning around this morning. The S&Ps, we were looking at 39.49 as a pivotal area, and while we did take a pretty deep dive to the downside, I think all we really did there was trap a whole bunch of shorts in the market and just ground them to pieces. The market really did not give much back once it started looking back to the upside. As far as NASDAQ's concerned, we had an inside day in extended trading hours, inside an inside day in extended trading hours. That's the way the day ended up. We did get a decent move to the upside. However, the NASDAQ obviously is a long way away from the all-time highs like the other three indices. The gold, we were looking for kind of an FOMC balance. Basically, our overnight longs kind of took out the gap and took the market back down towards settlement. We're going to look at all of these very shortly. The euro really just off my radar this morning because absolutely nothing really happened in it today. Very range bound, not a lot of opportunity. So if you were warned by me, then that opportunity to avoid getting involved in the 6E was good. Was a good thing to think about here this morning. And the 10-year really just was kind of basing anything I was looking for anything to do today off of that overnight low, which was 131 and 30 seconds. Didn't really get much of a chance to get back down there. Within a few ticks, might have been good enough for us to limit our risk. As always, you like to say good afternoon, I should say to everybody. People of Earth, good to see you, level 2. Bill, Brian, beautiful clothes, took my marbles and ran away. Boy, I'm sure it took a lot of people's marbles today. That was a tough trading day in the equities today, I think. There were a couple of kind of nuances in the profiles. One was looking the one way, the other one was looking the other way. One didn't look like it was going to play out. The other one didn't finish playing out, and the market just continued to grind all of those shorts higher to the upside all day. Saw something I haven't seen in about 6 months. Looked like someone block ordered 39.15.50. I kind of mentioned it on Discord. I did not see that. I was probably focused on something else at the time, LT, but thank you for pointing that out, and thank you for also pointing that out on our Discord channel as well. Book of Joe, hello. Good afternoon to you. It's nice to see you. Was Apple the reason to push all techs up? Well, I mean, it is a big part of the tech stocks. I didn't check Apple as an individual stock today. I would say there's a pretty good chance of that. Good afternoon, Tanya. It's good to see you. Magnum, good to see you. The speed of that execution was epic. Someone close or someone big. Yes. Hey, Althea. Nice to see you. Mike Magianes, the chef. Good to see you this afternoon. Ruben, good to see you from Springfield, Illinois. Hopefully you're not getting the same wintry mix we're getting here. We've got basically all day just kind of a little ice storm going here in the southwest suburbs. Ruben, good to see you. If you're new to the forecast and recap, we're glad you're here. As always, make sure you like, share, question, comment, feedback, and heckle at will. 13,120 is strong resistance for the NQ, the real one is mentioning. Huge snowstorm up here in St. Paul, 1.5 inches. Ha! Not too shabby. I'd rather be done with the snow, but if you're going to have some, 1.5 inches isn't that bad. Nice thing about it, in a couple of days, it should all be melted, and we'll hopefully have some warmer weather up there. Apple was up 2.54% today. Thank you, Real One, for putting that up there. So I'm still kind of fighting with my charts here. I don't know why this just continues to happen. It'll be fine for 2 weeks or a week, and then all of a sudden they'll just kind of fall apart on me. So I'm going to get them up here. We're going to run through them real quick so we can get what's going on here going on. All right, here we go. So here is the S&Ps, okay, new all-time highs. This is the daily chart. And one of the things that we were looking at was the overnight high and the all-time high were going to be somewhat pivotal. And it took some doing, but it finally managed to push its way through. This is the 30-minute chart. If I can get this to load properly. Oh, that's the TPO chart. Sorry about that. Here's the 30. So, kind of opening in range outside of value, we had kind of a late spike here on Friday. That's where we kind of opened in that late spike, which says, okay, well, we're accepting higher prices, and then at one point in the morning here, it looked like we were reaccepting inside value from yesterday. Well, that typically says we're going to probably visit the other extreme of value. We got relatively close, but not far enough. The market comes back up. Where was that level we were talking about? 39.49. Basically, the highs all along here was going to be our pivotal area. We did get some resistance up there at one point, almost got to it. And now, of course, we're continuing this move to the upside. It's going to be an interesting day, as always, tomorrow. And then, of course, the FOMC meeting. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is in rollover. We had mentioned kind of a range that we were looking for this market to kind of stay inside of, and it sure did today. We had a pretty good look down to the 64 even level within 13 ticks of it, 66.40, the high end of it. Look where our high is. We kind of spanned that whole area today. Wasn't necessarily expecting that, but here's where we opened. We opened with a gap. We pushed, getting close to that 64 even level. I was looking at this area as a high target area for an execution. Didn't quite get there. The market gets a little bit too short in the hole, comes back, takes out the gap, and basically spans this 64 to 66.40, which was, of course, earlier in the session. We went down and checked the other side of it, right back to the middle. Gold. Let's do the NASDAQ. NASDAQ inside day, inside an inside day. Not a whole lot of opportunity here. We get a little bit of a push to the upside on the close here. Maybe that took out our inside of our inside day. Let's take a look at the 30. Yep, that took us out just by a couple of ticks. Yes, heckling is always allowed. All right, so where were we here? We were looking at the 30-minute again, opening above value, an attempt to come back in and no acceptance of value in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ kind of led the rest of them up the better part of the day, which is something of a new event. I haven't seen the NASDAQ pushing, kind of leading the way of the other equities. Take a look at gold now. FOMC balance, we had a very small range in the overnight. We still have a very small range in the regular trading hour session. Overnight longs, what did they do? Overnight longs opened, took out the overnight high just by a couple of ticks, didn't find what they were looking for. It basically came back, closed the gap, didn't quite get us to the target-rich environment that I was looking for. I got missed on a lot of opportunities today because the market just didn't go there. We lost the charts. And we're going to get those up again. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work. Sometimes it does. It's random when that happens. So here we go. So here's our open again. Gap rules have us looking in the direction of the gap when we couldn't hold above the overnight high. All of our overnight shorts basically took us back to close the gap. The euro, just looking at it this morning, I was like, ew. I don't really want to be involved in this market. Look at what it did on the 30-minute chart. Just range. Probably got a lot of FOMO traders short at the bottom here. Got them all out and long at the top here. Just not a lot of opportunity here. We kind of talked about that this morning. And for the 10-year, we were looking at this, the overnight low, the low from last week, the low from the previous week is an important inflection level. It most certainly did play out that way. Unfortunately, mostly in the overnight session did we have that opportunity. And again, very small range, very small opportunities in this 10-year. A lot of folks, still kind of focusing on the yield here and where that's going to go. But one thing we do know is the yield is not seeming to be much of a problem for our equities. Just checking the yield now, 1.609. Where was it this morning? It was 1.62, so off a little bit off the highs of this morning when we were looking at the forecast. Let's see what else we've got here. Dad and Doc, yes. I like that idea. We should rename the market therapy to Dad and Doc. Ruben, heckle at will. Yes, good one. I do have a question about volume profiles colors. Why is it two different colors? Does one represent the overnight? No. As a matter of fact, while we have the charts up here, let's take a look at it. Okay, so I don't want to do it in this. Let's go with the gold today, maybe. So the value area, it represents in red here. Okay, this is value low, value high, point of control. This is the overnight trade. I don't put a profile over the overnight trade. So when we're looking at these charts, I'm basically only looking at the volume profile from regular trading hour sessions. Just kind of remembering this morning we talked about this being an important area, and if we reaccepted inside value, probably a pretty decent opportunity for a repair day that just did not play out. So, there's a way to make it look like that. Here I have profile color blue, value area percentage red. You can make the value high and low any color you want. You can thicken up the colors. I've just chosen red for value high and low and green for the point of control. Yes. In value, out of value. Red is in value, blue, out of value. So if you keep that as your default, every time you open a new volume profile, it's going to appear that way. Ruben, we also have the opportunity to chat in group coaching, which I'm going to put the link for group coaching, which is on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I should say. Unfortunately, right at the FOMC minute release. So usually what I do is I'll let everybody in the room, but we're going to start the meeting at about 1:05, just so, if there's something that you want to see or you want to watch what happens with the FOMC minutes, or excuse me, with the release of anything that they're going to do, you got a little bit of time, and then we'll be in the group coaching. You betcha, Ruben. You betcha. So as far as news is concerned today, there wasn't anything all that tremendous. I don't think that was that newsworthy. The CDC chief is warning of another COVID surge as more travel is coming on for spring break. Of course, nobody wants that to happen. Just be careful. Make sure you protect yourself and others. Wash your hands and socially distance. Wear your masks. I don't want anybody not to have fun, but I certainly don't want anybody to get sick. Another thing, hey, if you got any old Mega Millions tickets laying around that you've never checked, there's a ticket worth $1 million that's set to expire. They're only good for a year after the drawing. So dig around. See if you have any Mega Millions tickets that are left laying around. You may have $1 million ticket there. I don't know where it came from. This is just a headline, but I know I would be like, I'd find it a day after, and I'd realize I'd won, and then it's not going to be any good. So, one cool thing in the news today that I found: the best store in the world has a new owner that's planning to open stores again in the U.S. Toys R Us. Toys R Us apparently is going to go back to a brick and mortar store, and I'm excited. There was nothing happier as a child than walking into the Toys R Us, seeing all the toys. It's exciting. What's up, Big Toasty? I'm doing all right. How are you? What happened on this day in history? I haven't even looked yet. What do we have? LBJ calls for equal voting rights. This was the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Yeah, geez, that seems like not that long ago. In 44 BC, the Ides of March, the day that Caesar met his maker, was today. 1820, Maine enters the Union. 1972, the movie The Godfather opens up. It's going to be about it for that. And I always like to check out what happened in music on these days, on this day. So just kind of going back here, we have 1955, Elvis Presley signed a management contract with Colonel Tom Parker on this day back in 1955. 1968, Led Zeppelin, during a Scandinavian tour, even before I think they had their first album out, played two shows in one day. First was at Teens Club Box 45 in Denmark, and the second was in Denmark also, the Brøndby Pop Club. I did that once when I was in a band. I had two gigs in one day, and I got to tell you, that was a rough day. But, we were carrying our own equipment. Not sure Led Zeppelin was at that level yet, but I'm thinking that they were probably not going to be dragging their own equipment around. 1969, this day, Janis Joplin featured on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. Any notable birthdays? They're all notable, but Terence Trent D'Arby, 1962. 1963, Bret Michaels from Poison. Yeah, it's going to be about all the interesting stuff I can find on here for. All right, Hogue. If I missed a question from Tanya, I am very sorry. Today on Discord, could you have a look and use it as a topic for group coaching sometime? I will certainly go and look for that. Thank you for letting me know. I was not on Discord much today. I was having a busy day, so I try and get in there and read and provide anything that I can provide. But today I was not very active on there. I'll see if I can go find that, and we'll talk about that perhaps on a group coaching one of these days. And FAO Schwartz was always a nice one when we had trips to Chicago. I think it was the name of the store, FAO Schwartz. Yeah, it was a big one in New York, too. Hey, y'all. Richie B., good to see you. Okay, you were asking MP about his process. I will see if I can't find that. We were already kind of set for a topic for tomorrow's coach's playbook, but we will certainly, perhaps we'll have MP join us for group coaching one of these days and talk about his process. I think that's a great idea, Tanya. Thanks for letting me know about something that I missed like that at level 2. And always looking forward to what the markets offer tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can't work out the problem with my production system here that keeps making the charts go away. And that's going to be about it. Looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow for the market forecast. Again, if you're new to the recap and the forecast, every day at 8 a.m. Central Time and 3 p.m. Central Time, the forecast and the recap. Love to see you there. As always, let us know how we're doing. Something we can do better, we'd love to hear from you. Get out there and get some rest tonight. Looking like it's going to be a pretty busy week as far as economic numbers due out. A lot of opportunity in these markets. Today was a tough one, I thought. But hey, it's only Monday. We've got four more days to win the race. All right? Rod, I don't have the link to the Discord site. I am sorry about that. From what I understand, it's a public site. If you go to Discord and just look up Top Step, you should be able to find it. I know Art W had problems doing that earlier, but we're going to see if we can't get that link out again to everybody here soon. It's growing fast, and we're just trying to not get too busy with what's going on. Yeah, Nemo, quadruple witching on Friday, so something, and that's really the only economic thing to worry about on Friday. There's nothing else. So have a great night. Get some rest. Stay clean. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. prime time sharp. Same bad time, same bad channel. See you tomorrow morning. Have a good night. Trade well now.